Hey everyone, let me ask you something. When was the last time you trained to make life easier? Most people work out to look better, and that's fine. That's a good goal to have. But as we get older, especially with jobs, kids, and busy schedules, what really matters is being strong for life. Today, I'm breaking down the 4 movement patterns that cover almost every functional strength you'll ever need: push, pull, squat, and core. If you train these consistently, you'll move better, feel stronger, and you'll stay independent as you age. I've said it before, you don't need to spend hours a day in the gym to get results. You need to train your body the way you actually use it. These 4 patterns, the push, pull, squat, and core exercises, are how we move in real life every day. You get on and get off a couch or a chair, that's a squat. Picking up your kid, that's a pull. Putting the groceries up on the shelf, that's a push. Carrying laundry or bracing when you twist, you're working your core when you do that. When you build strength around these, everything you do outside of the gym gets easier. You're less tired, you're less stiff, and you're less likely to get injured while doing everyday stuff. So let's start with the push. Anytime you press something away from you, that's a push movement, like a push-up, a bench press, or an overhead press. These strengthen your chest, shoulders, triceps, muscles that you need for things like pushing a stroller around, shoveling snow, or putting luggage in the overhead bin. Now, I love to preach to start simple, and this applies here as well. You can try doing push-ups, and if you can't do a push-up, you can try doing push-ups on a wall or on a countertop. As you get stronger, you can move down to the floor. There's different ways for you to implement a push. And please focus on good form, not how many reps you can do. What matters is that you're trying, and you're trying to get better every time you do it. Next, let's talk about some pull exercises. Pulling works the back, the biceps, and your grip strength, which are key for posture and preventing shoulder pain. Think of exercises like rows and pull-ups or band pulls. Even daily movements like pulling open a heavy door or carrying groceries rely on having pulling strength. If you sit at a desk all day, you need to be doing some pulling work because you will eventually lose your posture from typing and texting, doing this all day. All right, next up is the squat, and you probably squat more than you realize, getting in and out of your car, getting off the couch, after that morning cup of coffee hits, if you know what I mean. Squats build your legs, your hips, your glutes, and they give you stability and power for almost all of your daily movements. I always believe that starting with bodyweight squats is a great way to start working those muscles. And even if you can't do bodyweight squats, you can start just sitting and standing on a chair. There are ways to progressively improve all of these movements, which is why I think they're so great. Because if you've never done any of these movements before intentionally, you probably do them every day. And you just can use those movements to continue to build and get stronger. And just as I said, don't worry about reps. Don't worry about how long you can go. Just focus on control, focus on balance, and over time, you can start to add weight or resistance bands. And finally, the last thing I want to talk about are core movements. Your core is your foundation. It's not just where your abs happen to be, it's your entire midsection, your front, your sides, your back. It stabilizes you when you do these lifts, when you twist, when you go to pick up your kid, and when you're holding them on one hip. All of these things. Exercises like planks, bird dogs, dead bugs, really cool names, by the way. Train your core to resist movement, and that's what protects your spine and protects your posture. The best part about a lot of these movements is they don't require any equipment. You could do most of these just lying on your floor or laying in your bed in the morning or at night. So here's the takeaway of your first fundamental Friday. You do not need to overcomplicate this. You don't need an intense routine. If you just train your pushes, some pulls, some squats, and some core exercises consistently, you're covering almost everything that keeps you strong, capable, and confident as you age. These movements are the foundation of your strength, not just in the gym, but in everyday life. If you found this helpful, please consider hitting that subscribe button and check out my other videos on how to fit your fitness into your real life, even with a 9 to 5 and a family.